Hello, I'm Reverend Dale Olansky, and welcome to meditation. Today's theme is prosperity. Many people think that prosperity is all about stuff, money, things, but prosperity is a state of mind. I'm sure you've heard of people who are millionaires who still feel like they don't have enough. So the key to having a prosperous life begins in consciousness. And if you're desiring to have more in your life, if you're feeling that you're in lack, then we begin in consciousness. Our meditation this morning is designed to immerse ourselves in the consciousness of prosperity. And I will be going through a few affirmative statements that will allow you to meditate upon these ideas that will generate a deeper connection with your innate prosperity. We teach in the science of mind that prosperity, the source of prosperity, is spirit. And as spirit is the unlimited source of energy of life, there is no limit to the prosperity we can experience in this life. And although we may think that prosperity is about bringing more things in our lives, this consciousness that we are developing in this meditation will allow us to already feel prosperous, and by virtue of the law of cause and effect, that will outpicture in your physical experience. And so let's go ahead and begin our meditation. I invite you to make sure you're in a comfortable space. If you are sitting in a chair or if you're on the floor or laying down, just make sure you're comfortable. And when you find that sweet spot, close your eyes or soften your gaze, whatever is preferable to you in meditation. Move yourself into that place where you can just be still and comfortable. And so let's close our eyes or soften our gaze and take a deep breath of air in and exhale. Just allowing ourselves to move from whatever we've been doing before this moment and into a state where we can be still and quiet, a place where we can open up to a deeper energy, an energy that is within. And so I invite you just to be very mindful of your breathing. Make sure that you anchor yourself in your breath should you become distracted. Just bring yourself back to inhaling and exhaling. There will be many points where we will just be in silence. So just allow yourself to be with whatever comes up for you and find your breath and come back to a centered place. And so as we just set aside anything that took place before this moment in time and just allowing our minds to calm down and be quiet. We're always grateful what our mind allows us to do in this world, but right now we're going to give it a break and we're going to bring our energy to our heart space. And the heart is really the center of our beingness. It is where all of our wisdom lies. It's a place where we can connect with that deeper place within ourselves, where there are no restrictions, where there's just freedom, where there's light and love and energy for us to just nourish ourselves with, and just to allow ourselves to shift gears and move into spaciousness of being. And so as we just allow ourselves to move into that place and deepening our awareness of that which is beyond the senses, just going into the invisible presence of life and just knowing how safe we are there, because that's where we meet spirit. And spirit is safe, spirit is love, and spirit is that ever-loving, peaceful nature that we can connect to at any moment, at any time. And so as we just continue deepening our awareness and opening up to the deep reservoir of beingness, I just want to remind you that in this place is a place where we receive so much intuition and so much direction. So if any ideas pop into your mind during this meditation, if you want to just try and remember them or just allow them to be revealed to you, because you might get some direction on other ways to deepen your prosperity consciousness. Just allow yourself to be in that space of really receiving the information that allows you to live in that truth. And so as we begin our wonderful wonderful immersion into spirit, into truth, and into feeling prosperity in every part of our beingness, in our mind, our body, our soul, to see that prosperity is about so much more than we may have been taught, that prosperity is about love, it is about greater light, greater love, greater peace, greater relationships, greater health, greater creativity. When we understand that the all-loving, ever-giving nature of spirit, that expansiveness is the nature of our being, then we know that our life is all about expanding and receiving more in everything that we do and everything that we are. And so our first affirmation that we're going to meditate on is this, and it's the foundational belief about prosperity. And that affirmation is, Spirit is the source of my prosperity. Let's just drink that in. Spirit is the source of my prosperity. So that invisible, everlasting, all-knowing, all-loving, ever-present energy that is spirit continually gives of itself to us. That is the source. And it knows exactly how to bring our good into our lives. So let's just meditate on this for a moment or two. Spirit is the source of my prosperity. And now let's inhale and exhale, just deepening this prosperity consciousness, allowing that energy to really stir up and be known. And our next affirmation is this: I embrace new ways of seeing prosperity. Just knowing that there are so many more ways of seeing what it is to be rich and prosperous in consciousness beyond what we've ever learned. And so let us feel what that is and be open and receptive to widening that understanding that there's so much more to prosperity. I embrace new ways of seeing prosperity. And now let's breathe in and exhale. Our next affirmation is this: Spirit provides me with all that allows me to thrive in all areas of my life. Sometimes we feel like we have to put so much effort into bringing that into our life, which allows us to be nourished and fed, that allows us to pay our bills. And really, we've got a greater wisdom inside of ourselves that makes it a lot easier when we surrender to its guidance. And Spirit always, always provides us with the way in which to bring our good into our lives. And so when we know that, everything that allows us to thrive with finances, with health, with friendships, with creativity, to know that it gives us everything that allows that to be made manifest. We can take a little bit of that burden off of our plate, all of it, really, off of our shoulders, and just to surrender to that innate wisdom that always shows us the way. Spirit provides me with all that allows me to thrive in all areas of my life. Just allow yourself to sink into that feeling of being receptive to all that goodness. And let's breathe in and exhale. And our next affirmation is about allowing prosperity come through all channels of life. Many of us have learned that prosperity just comes through certain ways, but prosperity is everywhere. It comes through infinite channels. And so our affirmation is, my prosperity comes through infinite channels. My prosperity comes through infinite channels. And just opening ourselves up to all ways for our prosperity to be revealed in our life experience. My prosperity comes through infinite channels. Now let's breathe in and exhale. One of the primary spiritual truths around prosperity is that we must give our good, give our prosperity, because we live in a world of divine reciprocity. We don't want to hoard it, we want to give it so that we're part of the flow of life. And so this last affirmation is, as I receive my good, I give my good. And it feels so good to give our good. And the more we give, the more we receive. As I receive my good, I give my good. Just allow yourself to sink into what that feels like to have so much good, that it lightens your heart to give it to others, knowing that you're circulating your good to go far and wide, to touch other people's lives, so that everybody is being uplifted to be prosperous in all ways. As I receive my good, I give my good. So let's take a big breath of air in and exhale. And as we begin our return back into our reality, completing our journey, this wonderful immersion into bringing forth the energy of prosperity into our conscious awareness, into our body, into our mind, and just allowing ourselves to remember that we do live in an abundant universe, and our consciousness is the only thing that holds that abundance back. And so as we remember that the allness of life, the wholeness of life is right there, always present, always yearning to give its gifts of joy, of love, of peace, of goodness into ourselves, into our life experiences, to remember that we give it permission to do so. And so as we just allow ourselves to begin this return now into this time and space, this reality, and just giving us whatever time it takes to move from the meditative into our life as usual, being in the world, doing those human things that we do that allow us to take care of ourselves and to connect with others. I just invite you to awaken yourself in a way that's comfortable for you. You might want to wiggle your toes and your fingers to feel connected with your body temple. Breathing deeply, connecting with your breath. As you breathe in, just filling yourself up with energy and life and love, and exhaling and just letting go of any tension. And just moving your awareness into your senses. Anything that you're smelling or sensing with your hearing or your taste buds or your touch, just anchoring into the physical right now, giving yourself that transition from the quiet back into your life experience. And so just take whatever time you have, whatever you need. When you feel that you're grounded, take a big breath of air in, exhale, bring your hands into the namaste position, palms of the hands together in what might be prayer if you don't know what namaste is, holding that position by your heart. And just hold that gratitude for what you've experienced, knowing that what you experience today is bringing forth a greater prosperous life for you, because it begins in consciousness. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Namaste.